The man placed his hand on the girl's shoulder and slowly pulled off her clothes. Surprisingly, the girl remained perfectly calm, but the man was extremely excited. Her name was Annie. She lived in a desperately poor family. Her father had died young from a serious illness. Her eldest brother was trapped in drug addiction and could not break free. Her younger brother was broken by fate and grew weak and incompetent. The whole family depended on their mother's meager wages to survive. One day, Annie took a ferry to her boarding school as usual. Bored, she enjoyed the view on the deck, completely unaware that her attractive silhouette had caught a man's attention. The man walked slowly toward Annie. When he saw her stunning face, he became flustered and nervous. Finally, he plucked up his courage, took out a cigarette from his pocket, and struck up a conversation with Annie with trembling hands. However, Annie turned him down, but the man did not give up. He took a deep drag of his cigarette and spoke to her again. At first, Annie wanted nothing to do with him, but when she saw his expensive car, her attitude changed completely. She asked him his name. When Annie spoke to him first, the man was overjoyed and began to talk about his background. He was a wealthy second-generation Chinese immigrant who had just returned from studying in France. When he learned Annie was taking the ferry to her boarding school in the city, he offered to drive her there. Annie had always longed for high society, so she did not refuse. Soon the car was driving along a muddy road. Inside the car, Annie pretended to be reserved, her eyes fixed on the outside. She had long seen what the man wanted, so when he asked her age, she deliberately made herself older. When they drove over a bumpy section, she placed her hand on the middle seat on purpose. The man understood immediately and took Annie's hand gently. Time seemed to stand still at that moment. All they could hear was each other's heartbeat.